Hello folks, and welcome to this Hi-Fi News etc. video. I hope you're well, I hope you're happy and hearty. Before we go any further with the Hi-Fi News, let's do a little bit of trivia. And the theme for this particular week is LA in the USA. And the question is, it's quite short. Question is, what's the only Beatles song named after an address in Hollywood? Short and sweet. I'll say it one more time. What's the only Beatles song named after an address in Hollywood? As ever, please, no internet searching, no Googling, no research. Just have a little think, exercise the brain, and I will tell you the answer at the end of this video. Until then, Hi-Fi News. We're going to start with a company called Spotless Audio. This first story has been triggered because the company itself, Spotless Audio, has received distribution in the UK, where I'm based. But it might also serve as a general awareness piece, shall we say, no matter where you're based. I've never heard of Spotless before, but they do a lot. A few highlights, well, there's the D1 Mini Class AB amplifier, just happens to be on sale as I say these words at $699. It spans 145mm by 86 by 166 millimeters, includes Bluetooth, weighs just 2.5 kilograms, and it pushes out 2 by 25 watts. There is also the Tube preamplifier, rather more expensive at $2,280. The Tube preamplifier is the name, and it uses 12 AU7 valves, 2 for input, 1 for output, and it includes Bluetooth and rather retro VU meters. There's also the V1 integrated amplifier at $834. This is an AB class amp pushing out 2 by 20 watts. It's rather compact at 200mm by 250 by 115mm, and it integrates valves within the design. The company also sells cables, stands, and speakers, like, for example, the Eternal 4.2s at $1,170. These are stand mounts, and they use a 95mm tweeter and 101mm mid-bass driver. There's plenty of hardware on offer here. Check out the link below for more information. Next, for more money, are the Magico S5 speakers, featuring a curved enclosure to reduce internal resonances and external diffraction. The cabinet includes aluminium honeycomb core sandwiched by graphene-reinforced carbon fibre skins. There's a mouthful. The idea is to reduce cabinet thickness but keep rigidity high. Drivers include a 152mm mid-range unit, 254mm bass units, and a 28mm tweeter, using a diamond-coated beryllium diaphragm. All are backed by large neodymium magnets. Prices are, well, they're off the scale. They're £90,000 per pair for the so-called soft tech finishes. You can pay even more if you want, £100,000 per pair for the high gloss options. Next up is surround sound and the possible future standard Eclipsa. This one targets Dolby Atmos, DTS-X, and all of that kind of stuff. Created by the Alliance for Open Media, that's the name of this group, it includes people, well, rather big shot people like Google, Samsung, THX, and ARM. So they have created this thing called Eclipsa. It's based on the open source audio standard called IAMF, which stands for Immersive Audio Model and Formats. Basically, this thing supports surround sound plus height. Apparently, from what I hear, TVs and other devices will be able to decode this new format using existing hardware. All they need is a software update required to the source device. So just connect the TV or the source, which has an Eclipsa decoder, to a receiver or soundbar using HDMI, and you're ready to go. Saying that, there's a wrinkle. There's always wrinkles. Height might be a problem because you do need HDMI standard 2.2 for that to work. Now, Samsung has already announced that its 2025 lineup of TVs and soundbars will include native support for Eclipsa audio. Also, because YouTube is owned by Google, YouTube can look forward to supporting this format as well. With no license fees for encoding or decoding, this format could be a popular one. Next up, let's stay with standards and that kind of thing, and we'll look at the company Qualcomm. They have a Wi-Fi lossless standard called X-Band, ideal for those of you who enjoy wireless earphones and the like, because X-Band promises data transfer of 1 megabit per, I think it's 1 megabit, isn't it? 1 megabit per second, which all sounds rather good. Be aware, folks, that there are Wi-Fi headphones on the way sporting lossless 24-bit 192 kHz HiFi at 29 megabits per second, made possible by the X-Band standard. X-Band was announced back in 2023. The first products supporting that should hit the shelves later this year. And like the last story, there's a wrinkle, because both the headphones or the earphones, whatever you're going to use, and the source device producing the music, both of those, they need a chipset, a specialized chipset called the Snapdragon S7 Plus Gen 1 to get X-Band support for this little miracle to work. So, one for an upgrade, I reckon. Next up, let's return to products, shall we? And HiFi Rose with the RS151. The new 151 replaces the slightly older 150. The 151 includes the Rose operating system and the Rose DPC module, which you'll also find in the 160. I hope you're following all this, folks. Inside the 151, the new box includes a DAC chip from ESS called the ES9039 Pro chip. There's also an NRA, a noise reduction analog filter, and reportedly the 8-core CPU inside the 151 supports faster data processing, better graphics, and larger music libraries than the 150. Speaking of graphics, the 151 includes a 15.4-inch Full HD multi-touch screen. You also get HDMI eARC and Bluetooth 5.4. The whole lot is run on Android 12 specifically. You also get a remote, and there's also support for internet radio, Spotify Connect, Tidal, Qobuz, and Apple Music. The 151 is also Roon ready and plays with Audiophile, actually, certified. Don't often see that, actually. In addition, the operating system actually supports video playback, either locally or within Tidal or Rose Tube apps. Price. You'd expect it to be fairly high after all that, wouldn't you? And it is. Price is £4,299. Again, if you're interested, I'll put a little link below. You can check out more details. And that's your lot. I'm going to give you an answer to the trivia question. Let me remind you. I will remind you of the original question, which is, what's the only Beatles song named after an address in Hollywood? And the answer is Blue Jay Way. George Harrison composed Blue Jay Way while waiting for Beatles publicist Derek Taylor to find his way to the house he had rented at that address. The song was on the soundtrack of Magical Mystery Tour. Did you get that one? Actually, I don't get too many of my own questions. I'm always surprised by most of them. But this one I did know. Hurrah! So hopefully you knew that one too. Anyway, if you didn't, not to worry. I'll do another one next time in the next video, and I wish you luck on that. And that's your lot, folks. Thanks very much for all of your support. It's much appreciated. And I'll be back very soon with another one of these. Until then, folks, bye-bye. Hang on, that's the wrong hand. Bye-bye for now.